Hello everyone, it's Christine here and I'm back for our stitch along and we are going to be doing split stitch. So I've just drawn on my little fabric scrap the words split, and I thought I'll work split stitch using onto those letters. So I'm going to do a regular, what would be the first of like a running stitch, and then I'm going to bring my needle up halfway inside that stitch, so halfway along and in the middle of it, and that's going to split the stitch, and that's where it gets its name from. So again, I'll pop up halfway inside my second stitch. Sometimes it's hard to get the needle to come exactly where you want it, but it's best to keep fiddling until you get it where you want it, so that you do get that nice little split stitch, which gives you the really nice outline, a sort of style. So split stitch is also known as Kensington outline stitch, and it can be used for a line or as a filling stitch. It was used a lot in the Middle Ages apparently for embroidering faces, which is interesting. So we just keep working our way, doing stitches and then popping up in the middle of the previous stitch and continuing on. Nice relaxing, nice easy, good beginner stitch. It gives you a nice outline effect. So I'm just using a perle. You can also use a wool. You want a thread that is thick enough that you can actually come up in the center of it without too much difficulty. So obviously a sewing cotton wouldn't work for this. Just bring this stitch back to the line a little bit. So as you can see there, I popped up first through the fabric and then took my needle through the yarn, because I'm going around a curve, so I'm coming up on the curve and then just bringing my thread back to the curve by skewering it with that split stitch. So I'll finish that off there, and then I'll bring my needle over here and start the P. So again, coming up halfway in the middle of that previous stitch and then going forward an equal distance. And the same here, going forward, and the same here and going forward. Okay. And then coming back down to there, and then we'll go over to our L. It's probably not the most exciting stitch to watch, but as always, I just show you at a normal pace. I don't fast forward it, I just let you watch, and then that way, yeah, you don't have to try and pause it to work out what's going on. I had a lovely comment from someone, yeah, saying that they were really struggling with a particular stitch, and it was only when they watched, yeah, my regular pace video that they were able to see how how it was done. So that made me very happy. That's why I make these videos this way. It's not about showing off my stitches, it's just about sharing the process of the stitching. Now because I'm going here, I'm actually going to go forward and then come back and skewer it, otherwise I risk taking out my stitch, as I almost did. And popping up halfway along that stitch, jumping forward. I'll just put a little ending one in where I'm coming halfway but just going to the very end, but that will give me a similar effect. And then coming up and doing the eye. As you can see, I didn't even draw my eye straight, but that's okay. I've got the grid lines to follow, so I'll follow those rather than the pen. And luckily the pen erases with heat, so when I finish stitching, I can apply the iron to it. I'm just going to put a little finishing one there. Split that final stitch and then we'll come over and do the T. Popping up halfway through that first stitch and going forward. I think I'll get all the top of the T done first before I go down. Okay, and then I'll come back over to the middle of the T, pop up in that first stitch, come down, come up halfway in that stitch there, and head down the T in the same way. And do that final stitch down to there, and then we can tie it off on the back. Tie it off through that stitch, put a knot in place like that, and then we'll just cut that off there, and that is our split stitch. So a really great outlining stitch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow to do split back stitch. Bye everyone.